Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the Spiritual Unity Radio Network, a station dedicated to the concept that all manifestations of the divine are equally valid. Join Reverend Terry Power HP, Robin McKean, and all the hosts for programming covering a wide range of spiritual topics, right here on Blog Talk Radio.
Who am I? What am I? Where did I come from? Why am I here? Is there a purpose to all of this? Join Hercules, Invictus, and crew as they seek answers to these and other timeless questions and serve Mount Olympus by safeguarding the path of mystic ascension. Welcome to the Pride of Olympus.
Greetings and welcome to Pride of Olympus. I'm your host, Hercules Invictus. The Pride of Olympus is our Merkaba, our sun chariot, our celestial barge, the wheels within wheels shamanic vehicle that facilitates our journey to the astral realms of Gaia's world tree. Pride of Olympus supports all of humanity's efforts to transcend this world and venture forth into the great beyond, be they metaphysical, mechanical, or even imaginal. And I'm greatly honored to announce our next guest, Michael and Dianne Dunkin, from the Sixth Revelation and the Religion of Love. And tonight the topic is spiritual bridge building. Greetings and welcome, Michael and Dianne.
Greetings, Hercules. It's great to be here tonight with you and with my lovely wife, Dianne. She's here with us. It's
welcome,
so great to be
Dianne.
Here.
Hi, Hercules.
Hi.
We send our best wishes to you and to Athena.
Athena's here. She's, not participating today, but she's here with me in the room. And she sends her greetings right back to you. And I'm very happy you're here as well. I was talking to Kathleen Alexander from the Heart Center community for the past hour, and I brought up some of the things you shared about the conversation that excited you, so she shared them on the show. About her temple and the different things that they're doing up there in Mount Shasta. And I told her that I'm very happy that all of the Ascended Master organizations, all of the celestial organizations are slowly releasing the exclusivity that they had and that the territoriality that they imposed, and that they're finally working together as intended, and that that's what the current wave of light workers are here to do, and it's happening. And you are among those that are helping this happen, and I'm greatly honored to know you and to be your friend.
Well, thank you. I really enjoyed getting acquainted with some of the Heart Center people, because it's kind of like I'm coming full circle. I began with Elizabeth Clare Prophet and Mark Prophet many, many years ago in Colorado Springs with my parents. My parents attended Mark and Elizabeth's lectures, and now, after all these years, I'm getting reacquainted and acquainted with some of the people that are still loving her as much as I did. It was so interesting. We were talking to one of the gentlemen that we're going to be going to see in just a week or so, and that's Dennis Fisher, who is down in Vista. And it was so interesting because back in 1988, I think it was.
86 or 87?
87. Okay, 1987. Both of us were at the same Elizabeth Clare Prophet meeting in a Masonic lodge in San Diego. He said, "Oh my golly, I was there too." So it's really wonderful to connect. We have Linnell Griffin, who's going to be coming to see us on the 26th of August, which is just really soon. And she's going to spend a week with us, and we're going to go down and see Dennis, and Michael's going to sing some songs for the group. And
they're in the Heart Center community, Dennis and Linnell, for those listeners that don't know.
Right. And so we're all going to gather together, and then some other people that I have been talking to on the phone from the Heart Center, we're going to try and see if we can all get together in December 13th. At a conference at Dennis's house. So it's really wonderful, and these people were in the Summit Lighthouse and University Press at the same time that I was so many years ago, and so we have a lot of memories, a lot of wonderful memories together that we remember.
I'm glad that you're getting a chance to reminisce, and I'm glad that you're getting a chance to reconnect and to that feeling of coming full circle is always very satisfying and fulfilling.
Yeah.
Yes, and there seems to be a movement among the groups of reaching out, like you were talking about when you were introducing us, talking a little bit about it, that, these groups are being urged, whether it's, intrinsically or whether it's something they've discussed among themselves. Intrinsically, I mean, being motivated by the Celestials to reach out and start connecting with different groups that have, that have things in common, like, Ascended Master tradition, or, groups that traditionally are guided by Celestials, acknowledge the gods, really listen to them and try to, seek guidance for their members individually and for everyone as a collective humanity, So it seems like some of these groups are reaching out. We're very, very happy to be connecting with the Heart Center community.
Yeah.
And also, it is awesome. And like we said, Linnell's going to be coming to see us. We're going to be seeing Dennis Fisher down in San Diego, who's only about, maybe an hour and a half south of us. And then also, Sammy and Kunlan Chok from Maitreya Great Tao, who talk about Maitreya's work supported by Laumu, or Universal or Infinite Mother. They are in our lives now, big time, and we're talking with them and reaching out with them and working with them. So, there's celestial Ascended Master groups that we're connecting with, and we're so happy to talk to. And of course, you, Hercules.
Oh yes.
Thank you.
With all of the Celestials and the Greek pantheon and the gods that we're encountering because of our friendship and association with you is just it's just so tremendous. People are really reaching out to each other for the common goal of helping our world, It's great.
Yes, and I might mention too that in 2014 of April, Kunlan Chok, who is one of the best friends of Sammy, she came out here from Malaysia to be with us for a while, and she attended some of the meetings that we had with the Celestials, and we worked it out that when she completed her educational requirements in Malaysia, that in 2019, she's going to make an effort to come back here and then maybe try and start working with us in a little more depth. And that would just be wonderful. Kunlan Chok has, been with us before for a few years, living in the home with us. And so we're going to see what we can do together in about a year when she completes all her studies.
Oh, that is incredibly awesome. And this communication is happening in wider and wider circles. It's happening among magical groups, and it's happening among different Olympian type of groups. I had Tony Merzwicki on not too long ago, and he had just published a book called Hellenismos, where he tried to represent the ancient Greek spiritual practices for beginners, kind of. And we were talking about theurgy, we were talking about theosophy, we were talking about, because they're part of the ancient Olympian tradition. And he said something that made me think of both of you. I'd asked him what the greatest challenge was, and he had said to bring back that need for humanity to make the gods part of their daily life again.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, we've discussed that with you a number of times.
Discussed that, yes.
Yes, now this is something I would say was the most important thing that a person can strive for. And I know for so many years, before I ever saw any of the celestials or the Father and Mother, I always talked to them. And this is what is so important, I think, for people to understand that these gods are interested in us. You know, it was funny. I read in a book on theosophy that said, oh, the gods are so far away that they really can't be bothered with us. They're working with the planets and the universes and all, and they can't be involved with our day-to-day goings-on. And I thought, oh, my golly, has this person really, really been talking to the celestials? Because when you really, really talk to them, they are interested in everything that we do, every single thing. And this has been what I have found, that they do care. They really do care. And they care about everything. They want everything perfect. Be ye perfect as your Father in heaven. And they really do. And they want every little thing done correctly. And they want to help you to get to that point where things are going better for you, where you're feeling better, and you're happier about things that are in your life. They do care. They really do.
I agree. They do care. They care deeply and they care profoundly, and they just await our cooperation and invitation to become more active presences in our lives.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was going to go ahead, and then I'll make an opinion here.
I'm finding, too, that many things are coming up with California, and I'm getting more and more reasons and more invitations to come out west. So I suspect within the year ahead, I'll be visiting California for a long or short time. So there are many shadows from the future casting themselves into the present. And I'm old enough to recognize what these things mean.
How exciting! You know, Hercules, that we think the world of you and Athena. And my goodness, we have some room here. And if there's ever a time that you would like to make use of it, boy, would we be the first ones to say, "Come on in."
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and I will take you up on it. When it's time.
Well, you know, we have Linnell coming in August.
Yes.
At the end of August.
The 26th.
And that's a tremendous development because you know, I was the president of Urantia Book Los Angeles Society for about 4 years.
Well,
and
2 years president.
2 years, yeah.
Education chair.
And then 2 years before that, right. And we had a number of people stay with us from the Urantia book community. And, you know, just one person staying at your home within your community or, you know, within the spiritual community, you know, for a couple days just really opens so many things up and gets so many things moving in the world.
Yes.
And to have Linnell, after just really having befriended her and gotten to know the Heart Center community it's only been, a number of months now.
Right.
To have her come is absolutely tremendous, and I think some real bridges can be built. And I think Linnell is a bridge builder, and I think she's doing a fantastic job, and she's going to be meeting a lot of different people, and I'm so happy that she has been given a measure of responsibility there as the New York representative for the Heart Center community. So to have her come is absolutely tremendous. And Hercules, if you could make it out here.
Oh, we'd love it.
With Athena, maybe like when you're, I think you said you were possibly going to be on a panel out here.
That's a possibility, yes.
Yeah, you have a place to stay, definitely.
Oh, you do, of course. And Athena, too.
If you want to stay,
thank you.
As long as you can.
A little bit before your activity and after, whatever, but I think it'd be really tremendous. So you're welcome.
Well, we would be the ones who would be growing, I'll tell you that.
No, we'll all be growing. I've learned so much by knowing both of you, and our conversations both on the air and off the air have been very illuminating and enlightening, and they've gone to some very interesting places. And I think for all of us to see things a little bit differently, to have a grander perspective and a deeper understanding.
Yes, and what you have done for us, Hercules, is you have opened a door to possibly a new worldwide religion of love.
I want to hear more about that. We
have not really stumbled upon it, but it's kind of developed, because we, how can I start this? We have, of course, been associated with the local Universe Father and the local Universe Mother for a number of years now, ever since Dianne had the encounter, which is, of course, on our YouTube channel, The Encounter.
Yes.
That developed into us being introduced to the magisterial mission that Maitreya is performing on this earth. New World Teacher, new Buddha to come, uplifter of humanity, magistrate for a dispensation, whatever you want to call him. On March 20th, 2017, he began a magisterial mission. And now, since we have been exploring the Greek pantheon and trying to understand how the gods are clothed in different spiritual traditions with different names and different ways throughout the centuries, we were trying to find parallels with the Urantia book, with these celestial beings that are coming to us, and with the Greek pantheon. Mm-hmm. And it just so turns out that whether or not it's really connected, whether it's really... No. Whether it's really one aspect or one phase of the magisterial mission, we have encountered Hephaestus, whom we have found out in the Urantia book is Gabriel, the bright and morning star. And then we also found out that he has a consort who is also known as the morning star, and that's Venus, of course.
Correct.
And we found out, of course, that Venus, through our studies, that Venus is Aphrodite. So we established this temple in our backyard. Actually, the Celestials established Maitreya's temple in our backyard. And we've had about 3 spiritual gatherings now back there. But on one of the spiritual gatherings, Gabriel came, Hephaestus, and Aphrodite has come, Venus. And a little bit after that, maybe a month or so after that, we were introduced to the idea that Gabriel and Venus are going to be starting a new worldwide religion of love. that Venus is going to embody. She's going to take on a body in 2020. Mm-hmm. She'll take on a body and she'll go into all of the places of worship throughout the world and start sharing these new ideas of this new worldwide religion of love. And of course, she's supported by Gabriel, who will be, he says, at every team meeting that we have and every spiritual gathering. And Maitreya is laying groundwork for this. Others, we have found out, are helping in this process. So, in our association with you, Hercules, in exploring some of the Greek gods and how they fit, that has opened up to us now, to this point right here, as we speak, the beginning machinations of the worldwide religion of love. To be,
and I'm excited by that.
To be, to be developing 2020, 2021, 2022. So that's what we are. That's where we are here now in this magisterial mission in our sixth revelation work.
Now, I know that you've started establishing the foundation for this, because 2021, 2022, 2020 are not that far away. They will be there before we even realize it. It's right around the corner. So what are you doing now to lay the foundation for this? And the reason I'm asking, I think I might have mentioned it either on or off the air or both, is that I have a specific sequence of events that are unfolding. And currently I'm working on the hermetic aspects, the things that Hermes brought to us since the dawn of time, that are the foundations of Western magic, or the Western tradition, as it's sometimes called, the foundations of theosophy and theurgy and many other things besides. So right now I've been working very diligently on that current, which has been with humanity from the beginning and will be with humanity till the end. And discovering that current cannot be destroyed, because anyone can find it who reaches the proper development. So it's there, and it's meant to instruct us, so it's there. And then my next step would be for Venus, for love. And I bring love into my daily life as much as I possibly can, and I try to act through love in everything that I do. And I tried contacting and working with various Venusian groups, and nothing clicked, whereas the Hermetic thing was kind of hit or miss. And as I've spoken of many times before, some groups embraced me with open arms, many did not, but that's okay. My task was to find the people who wanted to work together and work with them. And I must say that so many people are working together that miraculous things are happening. So I'm very content with that. And once the foundations are laid, I can take some of the attention and put it on love. So I'm very excited that both of you are starting this initiative, and I would love to learn how you're laying the foundations now.
Well, one thing that we want to mention is that when Michael was talking with Dennis Fisher, he brought out the idea that our new project will be this new worldwide religion of love through Venus. And lo and behold, Dennis Fisher said, "Oh my golly, this is something I've been thinking about too." And
wow.
we were just, oh my goodness, we just couldn't believe it, that both of us have been thinking about the very same thing just within the this last short period of time. And so
awesome.
We feel that with you're starting to think about it. We've got the Heart Center, Dennis Fisher. He said, "Oh my golly, I can't believe this, because this is exactly what I want to do too, and have been thinking about."
Yeah,
so this is the first thing that we're looking at, that we're starting to see that maybe we'll have some support maybe from you, maybe from the Heart Center with Dennis Fisher, that other people are actually thinking about the same idea.
And Dennis was saying that a lot of this new worldwide religion will be coming out of Maitreya. He mentioned Maitreya.
Yeah.
And that kind of blew us away, too, because, the Heart Center is, I don't know if you could say starting, but, they have been picking up some impetus from Maitreya to, to do certain things, to, act in certain ways, toward interfaith communities and things like that. So, with Dennis, that really, we were really surprised because he just laid it out there and said, yes, Maitreya is going to be instrumental in starting a new worldwide religion. And that's exactly, what we're talking about. And some of the preparation we're doing, I think, Hercules, is that we're trying to find out who the players are in this drama. And I think what we have attempted to do, especially in the last month or so, is to really find out who the Ascended Masters are and what they are, okay? Because a lot of, Helena Blavatsky's work, of course, was with the Mahatmas. She called them the Mahatmas.
That means great souls.
Yeah, right, the great learned souls. And then that was carried on through Besant and Leadbeater, and then in, I think it was like 1926, I think it was Spalding was the first one to use the term Ascended Masters. And from there, you get the Mahatmas or the Ascended Master tradition. So we've been trying to really find out what's going on with the Ascended Masters and how they fit now, who they are now and what they're doing now. And we found out that the Ascended Masters are gods. Now, a lot of traditions say they are gods, but the traditional Ascended Master is that, they're embodied on the earth and they go through, a evolutionary scheme, an ascension scheme, and rise to a level of mastery. Well, we are saying that their essence, that the essence of all of these Ascended Masters are that they began their infinite eternal career as gods. That their essence is God, is like a paradise type being.
Yes, and very coincidentally, I recently obtained a book for review, and the name of the book is Becoming Gods, or Becoming God, and then there's like a parenthesis open and closed with an S in it, by Marlene Morris, and she's a Unity Reverend out in California.
California.
Yes, in California, and her name is Marlene Morris, like I said. And this book, I read it, and it's not a very thick book. It's like 125 pages long, but she managed to say everything of value that I've learned during my entire lifetime. So nothing in the book was new to me, but it said everything that I had realized. And part of the realization, and we've discussed this several times, is that we are indeed divine. And not that we're going to become divine, but we're divine already.
Yeah.
And only a lack of faith in this fact keeps us from operating at a divine level. So I agree that the Ascended Masters, and in ancient Greece, there was a different understanding of them that's more in line with the esoteric Western tradition. But I would agree, they are people who have fully realized their divinity. So they are, in essence, gods.
Yeah, and what really, really clued me in during our research and our discussions that Dianne and I were having was in Godfrey Ray King's book, Unveiled Mysteries. He says that the Ascended Masters are gods. says it right in there. The Ascended Masters are God.
Good.
So this is kind of what we, and this is pretty preliminary study, but I mean it's fairly substantial in our research and in our personal revelation that the Ascended Masters are a fragment.
Yeah.
They are a fragment of, or like a percentage of that God, functioning in different places with different bodies in different circumstances.
Correct.
For example, we have Apollo, the god Apollo, and we have discovered that Apollo, a percentage of that god Apollo, a tiny percentage. I think it's like maybe about 0.1%. We were thinking about 0.1% of Apollo crystallized or manifested or incarnated as Saint Germain, and that Apollo functions in many different places, many different levels, for many different circumstances. So there's not just this one Saint Germain that we know and love as this Ascended Master. He is one part of a functioning God that's functioning, that's working through him, but the essence of that God functioning, throughout the cosmos, so to speak. I'm sure they have limitations, but certainly Dianne says they don't have limitations.
Well, not the God, anyway, that's for sure.
Not the full God, no, but the aspects or the avatars or the fragments of the divine pattern have limitations that are inherent in the rate of vibrations in which they're operating.
Sure.
Yeah, those
of course.
those particular aspects. And that leads me to Gabriel, and that leads me to Venus, because this new worldwide religion of love is going to be started by Gabriel, Hephaestus, and Venus, Aphrodite. But here's the other thing. We learn of Sanat Kumara in many different traditions. We did a little research, and we learned that Sanat Kumara, who is the god of Venus, is none other than Gabriel, Hephaestus. And that Sanat Kumara sent, according to Elizabeth Clare Prophet, Sanat Kumara sent, or maybe even came with, in different waves, Maitreya, Gautama Buddha, and 144,000 others, according to some traditions.
Well, that are from Venus, 144,000 from Venus, plus another group of Melchizedeks included in that, from Venus.
And they have been working with our planet for a long time. And they say they are now going to work with our planet in developing this new worldwide religion of love. And it's interesting, we looked up on a YouTube video saying that Sanat Kumara's work is almost done on the earth. And that struck us as interesting. And sure enough, Dianne and I discussed it, and we found that yes, I mean in relative terms, because their time's probably a little bit more expanded than ours, but in relative terms, his work with the earth is almost finished. I think this phase that they're moving into, Venus and Gabriel, is going to be so transformative to our planet that it's going to do the job. It's going to do the job they want.
Yes. It's part of the magisterial mission. It is a part. The first 10 years of the local universe father and mother's mission is to have the 10-year plan where you thank the father every day for your life, you thank the mother every day for your blessings, and you pray for world peace. Now, that's another thing that's coming up for a change, because we're to pray for world peace for 3 years. Now, we're in our second year, so we only have one more year of that. And then there will be a new request made by the father and the mother for us to pray for or change our lives in some way. And the 10-year plan is only a part of the 50-year magisterial mission. But they're already beginning. I mean, 2020 is not very far for Venus to be incarnating. She's a paradise daughter, and she's going to be incarnating as a human, a 49-year-old woman, Caucasian woman, going out into every worship service on our planet. I mean, it's not very far away for us to really figure out what are we going to do. Like you say, what are the foundations? We've got to really start doing some things because she's on the move. It won't be long.
No, it won't.
No.
And Hephaestus is the crafter of beautiful things. He's the one that remakes. He's the one that transmutes through the divine fire. So it should be very interesting in the days ahead.
Yeah, and we're also learning more about Gabriel, Hephaestus. You know, we're learning more about him every time he comes, and through our discussions and our revelations, that one of his aspects, along with what you've mentioned about Hephaestus, one of his aspects, or one of his jobs, or one of the things he does on this earth is he works with the Spirit of Truth.
Oh yes.
And there are a couple of books that we've looked into that say that Gabriel is the Spirit of Truth. Now, in the Urantia book, the Spirit of Truth, you know, the story is that you know, upon Jesus' ascension, he pours out the Spirit of Truth upon all people, and the Spirit of Truth, if you look at it in the cosmic administration of the local universe Father and the local universe Mother, that the Michael Son, the Creator Son, the local universe Father, pours out the Spirit of Truth, and the local universe Mother is the conduit for the Spirit of Truth. Well, Gabriel is the bright and morning star. He is the firstborn of the local universe Father and local universe Mother, and we are told that he is the one that works with that Spirit of Truth on this earth and probably throughout the local universe, I would assume. So the truth will come out with this new religion. The truth will come out, the truthful way of living, the truthful way of living with the gods, the true living, the according to the will of God that he wants for us and for our planet. The true life will come out. And then, of course, Venus with the love, she will bring the love, the heartfelt love. So you'll have the truth and you'll have the love together on this earth. The people we're told that there will be a variety of people that will embrace it and perhaps some that won't. That is the challenge for us, is to be open to that truth and that love and embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And you Hercules, you opened up our eyes a lot when you were talking about Paul giving a sermon to the unknown God. And
yes,
through that, your message to us about that, through that we discovered that it was Venus, and she said that she was one who inspired all of the beautiful stories of love that came through Paul, through all the churches in the Bible. So we feel, well, Venus has already given the world a religion of love a long time ago, 2,000 years ago. But she is now going to do it in a more full way. She's going to do it for the entire world, she says. Not just a culture or area of the world, but she wants to give it to the whole world. So
yeah, that's tremendous. And then you have, of course, in Islam, you have Gabriel giving Muhammad every surah, every line of the Quran. So they have already been instrumental in worldwide religions. Well, religions that are, in the top 5, of course.
Okay.
But at this time now, it's going to be a worldwide religion. It's not going to be broken up, according to culture, according to, geographic area. Somehow, she's going to be embodying and presenting this information on an inner level, outer level, not sure, but it will be there. And Gabriel's Spirit of Truth will be there. We're hearing that there are celestials that are going to break open the confusion and the fear and the hatred and the evil and the anger for some of these messages to get through, and for Maitreya's procedures, policies, programs to happen. So it's kind of a whole team. it's like a team. But we're included too. The humans are included too because we're part of it.
Right. But so this is really exciting for us, and we are learning new things every day. Actually, I had kind of thought that maybe the Bible did not have a lot about the angels because you only find mention of a few names in the Bible. You have Raphael and maybe sometimes Uriel, and of course Gabriel, but not too many, and they're usually the archangels. But I've been really looking at the Bible again because, the Bible brought a worldwide religion to a lot of people in the last 2,000 years, and I thought maybe that the angels were not there or the gods were not there anymore. But I am finding now that the gods are there. They are there. It's the most miraculous thing that I'm finding out. I'm starting to read some of the Old Testament. And, the New too, but in the Old Testament I thought, well, maybe the gods they're not there. But I'm finding they are. I was reading a story about Daniel, and Daniel in the Bible. And Daniel had 3, we'd say companions, because Nebuchadnezzar had conquered the Holy Land, and Nebuchadnezzar had brought back to Babylon some of the very elite or the well-educated children of the royal family of the king. And Daniel in the Bible was one of those with his 3 friends. Now, a lot of people would say, well, I don't see how that could be having anything to do with angels or the gods. But I never before really looked at the names that are in the Bible. And the 3 people, and they say they are people, the companions of Daniel, one of them is called Hananiah, Hananiah. And this person is supposed to be a young person like Daniel, a Jewish boy. But when you really, really find out what that word means, you find out very strange things. That it actually is the name of a god, a name of an archangel. And then you take the second companion, Mishael, Mishael. This is not just a Jewish boy. This is an angel. This is a god. And then the third companion is Azariah. This is also not just even an archangel. They are gods. Now, I am finding the names of the gods And I'm not going to release that right now, but I know who they are.
Awesome.
Daniel and his 3 companions were not just archangels, but they were gods. And I happen to know who they were. And I can give people the pages and books that will actually collaborate this. So
that is all.
So, you look at some of these stories in the Bible and you think, oh, the gods aren't there anymore. Oh, I'm finding out, yes, they are. Yes, they are. You were telling us about, again, that story of Paul giving the lecture to the Greeks on the unknown God. And we found out that Gamaliel, who was supposedly the teacher of Paul, and who was the teacher of Paul all his life, not just as an adult, but as a child, all the way through his whole life. And that Gamaliel, and they say in the Bible that he was a person, but Gamaliel, he protected the disciples from being imprisoned. He protected them from being beaten up by the people. In every instance where Paul was threatened, usually there's Gamaliel. So, and who is Gamaliel? Gamaliel, I'm not going to say right now, but he is a angel who works with Gabriel and Venus.
Wow.
So I think that sometimes we have to be very careful, because I was feeling like the gods were not working as much in the Bible as maybe I would have liked, but they are. They are. They're there, and they're working through everything.
I think a really big example, too, is the Dionysian mysteries, too.
Yes.
And how the Dionysian mysteries, got incorporated into the budding Christianity,
yes.
And especially, and a lot of those themes were morphed into this new Christian religion, the early 100, 200, 300 AD and all that. So they have told us, they have assured us and reassured us that no matter what religion is going on, no matter what's happening, that the gods are flowing through in some way, whether it's veiled, whether it's outward, whether it's through symbology or allegory, that they're there and they're working, and they're flowing through, and that's great.
Well, right, after the gods were so-called banished way back, so long ago, 300 years ago, after Christ, I thought maybe the gods had gone on vacation, but they assure us they have not.
No, they have not. And there's a Bible scholar. His name is Michael Heiser, and he's been on the show a couple of times. And he's written a series of books where showing you very clearly that the gods didn't go anywhere, that the gods are even in the Bible, and
yes.
that we've been brainwashed into not reading the biblical account correctly. And that even through the translations, the fact that there is a leader of the gods, but then there are gods, is there, and it's very obvious. And this is something that I got in trouble about when I was a young man, because when I read the Bible, I saw it very clearly that there's a pantheon. And yet when I brought this up in religion class, and it was a Greek Orthodox religion class, I was told not to read the Bible anymore because without proper training as a priest, the Bible can lead you to blasphemy. So,
right. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, but you pursued it though. You pursued your studies.
Of course I did, and it helped me go past my birth culture and to explore the thoughts of my ancestors, which fortunately, because Greeks are very proud of their heritage, were part of my education as well. And then I looked for survivals of these things in the world, and then I sought for things that were totally different, and thus began my education in matters spiritual. So everything did work out for the best, and I too have come full circle, and I'm back with Mount Olympus totally, and the aspects, theosophy and theurgy, that have guided my whole life. Now I've embraced them totally, and I'm actually working with people who are modern-day theosophists and theurgists, and we're doing great things together. And we're all, despite how we view what we're doing, trying to bring back a time when the mortal and the immortal beings interacted and lived in a better world than we currently enjoy.
Oh, yes. We need them for our day-to-day life. We truly do. And, you know, it's getting to the point where I am no longer afraid to even talk about the gods anymore. You know, with having a very traditional Christian upbringing, you weren't supposed to think about things like that. Excuse me, but I'm getting to a point where I'm not afraid to, because I believe that the gods are truly working, and they are in control. They truly are, and we needn't worry and be not afraid. And all of the beautiful things they tell us are true because they are in control.
Yes. And
you know,
go ahead.
Yeah, and the thing is that you know, once you experience the gods working in your life, once you open up the channels, and once you develop that collaboration, you know that they're there for you every second, every minute, for everything. You know that. You could feel it. And you tell us often, you see synchronicities, you know, you see all kinds of little instances.
Yes.
Yeah. You start seeing those things. You start experiencing life with the gods, you know. And it's something that enriches your life. It makes you healthier. It makes you happier. It gives you purpose. It makes you be a better person and a better citizen, because you realize that you have something special and that you have a responsibility to do their work on Earth too, you know. And that's where Dianne and I have really blossomed, I think, in the last 6 or 7 years, is because we are experiencing the living God and the living gods, and we're acting accordingly.
Well, this is what I was trying to say a few minutes ago, that I used to read the Bible and it was just pages. I loved it, but it was just pages and words. But all of a sudden now that I am meeting these gods, all of a sudden these people in the Bible, all of a sudden the names of them are leaping out at me, and they're alive. That they're actually alive, that I'm thinking, oh my golly, this is a living entity that I have actually met, and this is an entity that is flowing through this Bible, and even if the name is veiled and people don't know unless they look. Now, if you study, you're going to find out, like I am finding out, who they really are, and the veil is starting to be removed. But now all of a sudden the Bible is becoming a real entity. Now, I'm not saying it's historically or archaeologically exact, no. But I'm saying the living truth of the gods and the celestials who have brought it to everyone are alive today, and they are living.
Yeah.
I wrote something recently, kind of like to express what you've been expressing. I'll read it to you. I greatly appreciate the phenomenal spiritual wealth I inherited from Mount Olympus. The historia, mythologia, filosofia, theosofia, and theurgia bequeathed to us by Olympus are more than sufficient to quench my soul's deep thirst and satisfy my spirit's profound hunger for the divine. I am full and sated. My spirituality is my nectar and ambrosia. It is my cornucopia. And you're right, experiencing the gods firsthand and making the divine part of your everyday mundane life does transform you. And there are still challenges, you still have responsibilities to meet. In fact, you have greater responsibility now because you feel responsible not only for the people in your immediate life, but for the world, for the solar system, for the universe. And you have to, your life becomes your prayer, and your life becomes your offering, and your life becomes your service. And it's a profoundly satisfying way to live.
Yeah.
Yes. Hercules, it's interesting that you kind of ended with the word the cornucopia. Because that word, that symbol, is very important in this new religion. When we had a meeting with Maitreya, it was one of Maitreya's messages. I don't know, the third or fourth. It was rather early, I think.
It's the
fourth.
It
was outside. The fourth.
The
fourth message from Maitreya. And Maitreya had Ceres, who was Demeter in the Greek, but Ceres in the Roman, was with him. And we did it outside on the patio with the Universal Father and Maitreya and Ceres. And this was something that she felt was an important symbol for this new world to come, this new religion, because she wants people to see that symbol. So we are going to go and buy a cornucopia. I don't have any. I used to have one made of kind of like a basket type of thing, but I don't have anything anymore. But the symbol, because the symbol represents, or she wants us to give it to the world as part of this, it represents all of the prosperity coming forth, the fruits, the abundance, the fruits and vegetables that are at their very peak and very, very best, all being gifted to the world through the cornucopia. She wanted that symbol to be on our table when we have our spiritual gatherings. We haven't bought it yet. We have to get one. But she wanted that. And so I thought that was interesting that you would make mention of that word at kind of the end of your beautiful little saying there.
Yes, the cornucopia is a special symbol to me. We have several in our house, and it was associated with Hercules, the Roman and the ancient Greek Hercules. He was one of the deities who held the cornucopia and that brought bounty to the land. So that's one of my very deepest sacred symbols. So I'm glad that we share it in common, and that gives us yet another bond.
Yes, because she brought that idea to us.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that beautiful saying.
We only have 2 minutes, so I'm going to ask Michael to share the contact information. And I'm looking forward to our continuing with this conversation very soon, actually.
Well, yes, we will be. It'll be the 23rd. Is that correct? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's wonderful. It's 6 o'clock our time, Pacific.
Well, again, thank you, Hercules, so much for including us in your ministry and your work, and we're just so happy to to be receiving all of this wonderful, all of these wonderful things that the Celestials want to see happen on this earth, and we're kind of the conduits for that. Working together makes us stronger in that, and we appreciate all your effort. And of course, bless Athena, and God bless her with lots of health and strength. And we have a lot of videos now on our YouTube channel.
Yes, we do.
There's been an abundance of videos coming out the last couple of years. Our YouTube channel is Michael, Michael, and A-N-D. Dianne is D-I-A-N-N-E, and Dunkin, D-U-N-K-I-N. We have 45 videos now of celestial team meetings, of spiritual gatherings, of paintings and songs, and wonderful interviews with our good friend Hercules Invictus, of course.
Well, thank you.
So you can see all of our videos there. If you'd like to contact us personally, our email is michaeldunkin, the figure 1, at hotmail.com. That's michaeldunkin1 @hotmail.com.
Thank you very much for another wonderful conversation. I'm looking forward to next week, and many blessings on both of you and all of those you love and all of those you minister to. Thank you also to the folks at home.
Thank you, Hercules, and God bless you and Athena.
Thank you. God bless you too.
Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Unity Radio Network. Join us 7 nights a week for exciting programming covering a variety of expressions of faith. And remember, all manifestations of the divine are equally valid.